It's so important to keep a positive outlook no matter what's going on in life. At the end of the day, being negative is not going to solve anything. The only thing it's literally going to do is make you feel worse about what's going on. The only thing it could possibly do is to bring your mood down even more than it already is. And the only thing that trying to look at the positive in a situation can do, the only thing about trying to look at the silver lining in any situation can possibly do is maybe make you feel a little bit better. Why not at least try to feel better? You know, if you want to be weak, if you want to give up, if you want to throw in the towel, then yeah, go ahead. Look at the negative in everything. Assume everything's going to get worse. Assume nothing's ever going to get better. That's how you give up. That's how you quit. That's how you guarantee failure and you guarantee loss. But if you want to at least give yourself a chance that maybe there could be some hope and maybe things can get better tomorrow and you could possibly feel a little bit better about yourself, you could possibly move on and succeed at some point, then look at the positive. Those are your only two options. And that's why, like, no matter what's going on in my life, even when my instinct is telling me that things are bad and things are not going to be good and there's doom and gloom in my mind, I make a conscious effort to think about solutions and to visualize solutions happening, to visualize things turning around and getting better. It doesn't hurt me to do that, but thinking about the opposite does hurt me. And that's why, I consistently stay with the thought in my head, things are going to be better tomorrow. Things are going to be better tomorrow. How you doing, Rich? I'm doing better than I'm feeling. When I'm feeling bad, that's my response. I'm doing better than I'm feeling. I'm extremely blessed. I have all kinds of shit that happens in my life that's not good and it's not the way I planned. And most people would look at it, and people even do tell me, like, bro, that's so bad. All these things that are happening to you are so bad. And my response, literally, this happened today. Just another thing that happened that most people just construe and look at it like, oh, that's a horrible thing that just happened. And I'm like, yeah, a lot of unfortunate events have unfolded recently in my life, but my life is still better than 99.9% of the population in the world. So I'll take it, man. I wouldn't trade my problems for anyone else's, man. And that's the truth. And that's why I say to myself, like, no matter what's going on in my life, listen, this is crazy, but I'm in recovery. I've talked about it on this channel. I'm a recovering heroin addict. I was addicted to every drug under the sun, heroin, cocaine, benzos, every drug out there I abused. And I was a real fucking lowlife at a certain point, man. And it was like, I remember at one of the lowest moments in my life when I was just getting clean, I had nothing. I had absolutely nothing. And I felt really depressed. And I walked into this meeting, this 12-step meeting, and I heard a guy talking. And I wanted to get high this day. I was like, what's the point of fucking staying clean with all this shit that's happening that I don't like and that I feel the way that I feel? Like, let me just get high. And I heard a couple people share a couple things, man. I heard one guy sharing about his daughter dying, right? His daughter died like that day, and he stayed clean. And he didn't feel that his daughter dying was an excuse to get high. And then another woman had shared that she had a life-threatening, or she had a terminal diagnosis. Terminal. She's going to die, right? And to her, that wasn't a valid reason to get high. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, yo, what the fuck right do I have to sit here feeling sorry for myself and to sit here thinking that my life isn't worth protecting? And it's not worth it for me to stay clean when there's people in here in this world that have it so much fucking worse than I do. That's why when shit happens, man, and people are looking at it like, how do you do it? How do you, a car drove through my fucking house and did almost $100,000 worth of total damage, property damage between the house and the car they hit in the driveway, and like, actually it was over 100,000 when you look at it like that. And all this shit was fucked up. My life was turned upside down when I had to have contract. My house turned into a construction site, and I'm dealing with insurance companies and this and that. And it's a lot of time consuming bullshit and nonsense. And there was a lot of other things that went on in my life around the same time, and people were like, how do you do it? How do you do it? Like, bro, how do I do it? How do I do it? Because this is far from the worst fucking thing that I've ever been through, bro. My life is better than it's ever fucking been right now. With all this shit going on in my life, this is the best that my life has ever fucking been. Because don't forget where I was 9-10 years ago with a fucking needle in my arm, bro. And so a truck drove through my house and I got to get my house that I own fixed. Who the fuck am I to own a fucking house, bro? I have to get fixed. Yeah, okay, so I gotta spend some time and I gotta talk to some people. I gotta fill out some fucking paperwork. And yeah, it's a big pain in the ass, but like, I would have killed to have this pain in the ass shit going on in my life 9, 10 years ago. So how are you going to look at things? You're going to look at the fucking negative and look at the damage that was caused and the shit that has to get fixed. You're going to look at the fact that I'm blessed that I even have these problems to deal with. What do you prefer to look at? Do you prefer to be miserable? Do you prefer to be grateful? That's a preference. That's a choice. How you look at your life, that's a choice. I heard a guy share about, this was after I lost one of the closest people in my life. And again, 3-4 years clean, miserable once again, because I'm dealing with a death in my family. And a dude shares about how he dealt with his sister being murdered. His sister got murdered, right? It was his younger sister. I believe she was around 23, 24 years old. And he said to me that when this happened, he was going around saying, why me? Why me? Why did I have to lose my sister? I loved her so much. She brought so much joy into my life. We were so close with one another. And he was listing all these things, these beautiful experiences that he had with his sister that he couldn't have anymore. And somebody said to him, I know this is hard and I know that you lost her, but why don't you try thinking about how grateful you are that you got to have her in your life for 25 years rather than focusing on the fact that she was taken away from you so soon. And it changed the way he looked at shit, man. And like, yeah, is it horrible? Is it tragic? Of course it is. But it's up to you if you decide to focus on the tragedy or if you decide to focus on the beauty of that relationship that you got to have and those years that you got to spend together. So that's it, man. I hope that this brought some value into your life. I hope that this meant something to you. And if it did, leave a comment, let me know. Hit the like button, subscribe. I'm going to continue putting out content about my experience in self-help and my experience in self-improvement and self-care and self-love and all that good stuff. Every single week, providing value. So I'm sorry, not every single week. It's going to be every other week I'm going to be sharing this content. So hit the subscribe button if you liked it. Share it with somebody who needs to hear it. I love you guys. Thank you for watching.